Hi, amazing sixth grade. So, when we were back at school, I did promise you guys that we were going to be working on labs. And just because we're now in a virtual classroom doesn't mean that that's changing. We are still going to be doing labs. So, this week coming up, you will have your first official virtual lab. Woo! I'm so excited. I can't wait for sixth grade to start completing these labs because once you get to seventh grade, we are definitely going to be doing lots and lots and lots of labs. So do know that throughout this online learning, we are still going to continue with our rigorous education, and we're still going to be fulfilling those promises of making sure that we have these labs on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So we're going to be continue talking about the rock cycle, and understanding the rock cycle is very important as we continue on our following lessons. So before we can move on to the next piece of our lessons, I really need for you guys to understand the rock cycle and the purpose of the rock cycle. So our key points for this are going to continue to be the same. Our objective is going to continue to be the same. Our students are going to be able to understand the rock cycle and identify the different types of rock. And the key points for this are there are three main types of rocks, which are igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary. And the three processes that change one rock to another are crystallization, metamorphism, erosion, and sedimentation. And a rock can transform into any other rock by passing through one or more of these processes, and this is what creates the rock cycle. So when you come into your classroom, you are going to be noticing um, a new week of assignments. So it's going to say assignments April 13th through April 17th. This is this week's assignments. You will have only one assignment this week. This lab will be counted as a test grade. So this lab will be counted as a test grade, and test grades are 50% of your grade. So it is very important that you take this very seriously and that you take your time this week, making sure that you are successful on this lab. So when you first open this up, you are going to first be looking at our rock cycle lab form. So you will first open that up. And this is just going to be explaining to you about this video and the importance of watching this video to make sure that you are able to continue with your lessons. If you do not understand what is going on in the video, you will not be able to complete your lab. So once you finish this video, watching the video and answering the question, you will then switch over to looking at your actual lab. And this is your rock cycle project. So when you open up your rock cycle project, you will be able to edit this document. You need to first put your name here, and you need to be able to put your cohort or your college house in the second blank. You will be able to type on this document. I have created an individual document for each one of you. There are going to be 3 sections and an extra credit section, and there is a rubric that is attached for scoring, which I will show you in a little bit. So section 1 is going to be actually talking about the rock cycle and how all of the different rocks are formed. You have 5 steps in section 1. Make sure that you are reading all of the steps and that you are able to label correctly how the rock cycle works. You also need to make sure that you are having the drawings of the arrows, which you can be using with the drawing on here, and I will demonstrate how to do that, as well as defining the following terms in each one of those sections. So you need to make sure that you have all of the vocabulary words and that you are not just copying and pasting from the internet. If you are going to be using pasted information from the internet, you do need to cite your source underneath where you looked for it. Otherwise, it does need to be in your own words. So when you come down here, you will be able to type inside of the boxes all of the information that you need to type in. So you need to make sure that you are labeling this as the 3 different rock forms, and I do have all 3 boxes here. So these big boxes are where you are going to be talking about the different rocks and the information that it's asking you to do in those sections. In this middle section, this is where it all starts and where the arrows need to be drawn from. So when you are going to be drawing an arrow, you need to what is called insert a drawing. So you will come up to the very top of your document. You will click insert and you can click drawing. You click new drawing and it will let you draw an arrow. The way that you do this is you select the line here, you select arrow, and then you will be showing which way your arrow goes. Once you save and close this, you can move this to different places to make sure that you are demonstrating how this rock cycle is working. If you don't want to use that form, you can also insert an image. So when you come over here, you can insert an image and you can look for a photo on the web and you can type in, it will pop up an extra screen over here. You can type in arrow and it will have different arrows that you can use and insert. Once you click on it, then you'll just have to make it smaller and then you can change the direction that you need. So once you make it small enough for what you need, then you come to your picture. So as you can see, I did shrink it to a smaller arrow. Once you have it where you need to be, then you can maneuver it to be in the location and the direction that you want. And you will be able to adjust and move as you need to and make it as large as you need to. So make sure that you're also adding these on your pages. Once you finish section 1, you will then move on to section 2. So section 2 is you are going to be looking for different rocks, and you can use this website that is on here to find the different rocks. You can also search it on the internet. And what you're going to be doing here is you are going to be adding a picture of the rock, what kind of rock it is, the characteristics of the rock, and an illustration that shows what this rock is composed of. So as you can see, I chose here a sedimentary fossil limestone. I explain what the characteristics of limestone are, and then I put an illustration that shows how this limestone is created, and then I put an explanation of the picture. So you need to have all of these for all of the 7 terms and the 7 pictures that you will be finding. You will have 7 rocks in total. Then we're going to move on to section 3. And section 3 is where we're going to have a lot of fun. So you need to be able to record yourself explaining what the rock cycle is about in your own words. This video has to include 3 things. 1, an explanation of the rock cycle in your own words using the vocabulary that you have on this document. So you should be using words as erosion. You should be using words such as weathering. You should be using words such as sedimentary rock. You should be using words such as igneous rock. So any of the academic language that is on there, because this is what is going to be on your rubric and what I'm going to be grading you on. The second thing is an explanation of how a rock is formed. So how is a igneous rock formed? How is a metamorphic rock formed? And then the third thing is an explanation of how one rock can change into another rock. So for example, how can an igneous rock turn into a metamorphic rock? The additional requirements are that you have to explain this to an adult, either a parent, a guardian, or a sibling. Or if there is no one available for this, you can stand in front of the mirror and record yourself teaching yourself about the rock cycle. The person must be on the video. So you have to be on the video and the person that you are explaining to has to be on the video. If there isn't a person, you need to be in front of the mirror so I can see you teaching yourself. Then you have to upload your video. There are 2 options to upload the video. Option 1 is called Flipgrid. So if you click on this link, it's going to take you to a Flipgrid page. And then you are going to log in with your school email. It has to be your school email. Once you log in with your school email, it's going to come and it's going to show you my Flipgrid, right? Which is called the Rock Cycle Project. You're going to scroll down to where it has a button here, this green button. And when you click on that green button, it will allow you to record with your camera on your computer. And then it will allow you to be able to upload it. It will send me a notification that it is there so that I can go ahead and score that. If you do not have a computer, that's okay, because you can still continue to do this with your phone. So you're going to record your video on your phone, your tablet, or your computer, and then you will submit it via Google Classroom. So on your actual assignment, there is a button that says turn it in. You will click on turn it in and you can upload this video. You have to save your video into your Google Drive from your Google Classroom. So once you are done recording on your phone, you will have to drop that into your school drive. If you have difficulty dropping it into your school drive, you need to join office hours so that I can show you step by step on how to do that. If you have any problems with section 3, you need to join my office hours so I can show you step by step on how to make sure you upload those videos. And then for your last section, which is your extra credit, is you're going to find a rock that is in your house or outside. You're going to post a picture of it and you're going to explain what type of rock that is. It can be a rock that you find outside. It could be a rock that you found on vacation. It could be any kind of rock, but you do need to make sure you post a picture and that you identify it correctly. So how am I going to be grading you? I also included a rubric. So when you click on the third item that is in this assignment block, it is called a rubric. And this rubric is going to tell you what exactly points you got. You can get a total of 4 points per section. So the first section is going to be the overall project. Did you complete the overall project? And this is the point system that I will be using. If you complete all 3 sections using your academic vocabulary and complete sentences, the highest score you can get is a 4. Also, then it goes on to section 1, section 2, and section 3. What you will be noticing that is consistent is whether or not you are using academic vocabulary and complete sentences when you are actually typing on the document and when you are speaking on the recording. So you need to make sure that we're always using this academic language and that we're always using the academic vocabulary and that we are talking professionally and using complete sentences. So when you do your recording, you need to think to yourself, my audience are adults, and let's say, Ms. Flores, we're going to be presenting this to Mrs. Thompson, the principal. This is a presentation that you are going to be recording. So make sure that you are looking really sharp and nice. Make sure that you are speaking very clearly and make sure that you are using the academic language. And before you start recording, make sure that you look over the rubric so that you can ensure that you understand all of the pieces. All right. I can't wait to see these amazing lab projects, and do know as we continue with our online learning, these projects will become more interesting. They will be fun and exciting, and we will continue to learn everything that we need to know on a rigorous basis with our Compass Rose Academy information in mind so that we can continue to grow, learn, and be successful not only here, but in college and beyond. I can't wait to see your projects. Bye, guys.